Exciting na naman po yung hearing ngayon sa Congress, yung House Committee on Public Accountability, House Committee on Good Governance in Public Accountability, kung saan ipinatawag po ng Congress yung mga Chief of Staff ni Inday sa kanyang mga satellite offices para alamin kung paano kung paano yung paggastos ng ibinigay na budget sa Office of the Vice President sa mga nakalipas na
nagpapagang mga balita at pagtalakay sa mga isyu ng lipunan. Bulsa! Opinyon, para at paglalantad sa katotohanan. Bulsa! What you see is what you get. You decide.
Nakalipas na taon,
dispense with the calling of the roll.
Ito pa, pinangungunahan po ni Congressman Joel Chua ng Maynila. It is based on the privileged speech, mga kababayan, ni Congressman Valeriano. Ito.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, sa ating mga kagalang-galang na mambabatas at sa ating mga panauhing ngayong umaga. Salamat po sa inyong pagdalo. Maraming salamat po, Madam Vice President, sa inyo pong presensya ngayong umagang to. Bago po tayo mag-today, as well as the invited resource person, Comsec, would you please recognize them now?
Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you. Recognizing, of course, our Chairperson, Honorable Joel R. Chua from the 3rd District of Manila, our Senior Vice Person, Honorable Bienvenido M. Abante Jr. from the 6th District of Manila, Honorable Romeo M. Acop, Vice Chairperson from the 2nd District of Antipolo City, Honorable Arnan Panaligan, 1st District of Oriental Mindoro, Honorable Jefferson E. Conghun, Vice Chairperson from the 1st District of Zambales, Honorable Ernesto M. Junicio, 1st District of Manila, Honorable Joseph Jojo Lara from the 3rd District of Cagayan, Honorable Jonathan Keith Flores, 2nd District of Bukidnon, our member and also author, Honorable Rolando M. Valeriano, 2nd District of Manila, Honorable Francisco Paulo P. Ortega from the 1st District of La Union, Honorable Charis Ann Hernandez from the Lone District of Calamba City, Honorable Ramon Rodrigo Gutierrez from Party List 1 Rider, Honorable Loreto S. Amante from the 3rd District of Laguna, Honorable Joseph Stephen Caraps Paduano from Party List Abang Lingkod, and Deputy Minority Leader Honorable Franz L. Castro from ACT Teachers Party List, Your Honor. Moving on to the resource persons, we now recognize the presence of our Honorable Sara Zimmerman Duterte from the Office of Vice President.
Inday.
From the Department of Budget and Management Legal Service.
Tatanungin siya ngayon kung paano niya
from the Department of Budget and Management
niya ginastos yung kanyang budget sa mga satellite offices.
From DBM, Office of the Secretary,
umusok na naman po
Mr. Mark James S. Evangelista. DBM Assistant Secretary for Budget Preparation and Execution Group, ASEC Mary Ann Z. De La Vega. Undersecretary for Functional Group, Head of the Budget Preparation and Execution, Yusek Rolando U. Toledo. We now recognize our resource persons from the Commission on Audit. State Audit Team Member for the National Government Audit Sector, Ms. Sarah Jane E. Fegalan. Commission on Audit, Legal Affairs, Attorney 6, Mr. Erwin E. Lapitan. Commission on Audit State Auditor, Mr. Fahad bin Abdul Malik Tumawis. Commission on Audit, Ms. Cylene May L. Del Campo. And Commission on Audit, Attorney 5 on Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Office, Ms. Gloria A. Camora. That's it for our resource persons and members, Your Honor. 16 members in attendance, and we have a quorum.
Comsec, with that, we will now proceed to the next item. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. I would like to read Section 29, Paragraph 1 of Article 6 of the Constitution. No money shall be paid out of the Treasury except in pursuance of an appropriation made by law. And Section 24 states that all appropriation, revenue, and tariff bills authorizing increase of public debt, bills of local application and private bills shall originate exclusively in the House of Representatives, but the Senate may propose or concur with amendments. In a democratic republic such as ours, governmental powers are divided among three branches.
Yung full story ng balitang yan, click subscribe muna dito sa ating YouTube channel and hit the notification bell para lagi po kayong updated sa mga kaganapan dito sa ating bansa. Like and share na rin po ninyo ang ating video. At huwag na rin po ninyo na skip yung ating mga commercial ads para tuloy-tuloy lang ang pag-unlad ng Bagong Pilipinas. Sa mga nagana po ng malinis and spacious fitness gym, pumunta lang po kayo sa aming Colossal Fitness Gym. We also offer Grab Car Rental with our brand new 2023 model ng Toyota Innova. We also accept booking for those who are planning to travel via PAL, Cebu Pacific, and other airline companies, local and international, and bills payment for Meralco Bills, Aleco Bills, PLDT, etc. Ang Colossal Fitness Gym is located at 3rd floor Security Bank Building, Lanco Business Park, Legazpi City, Albay. For inquiries, look for Gilon Maravillas, contact number 0966-802-0949. Yan po yung aming Innova. Lagi na pong matao sa amin. Yan po mga bagong clients namin. Napakaganda at colorful at napakalinis ng aming gym po. Pati mga foreigners po pumupunta sa amin. Mga British tourist po sila dito sa Legazpi. Na-set up na rin po yung aming mga brand new gym equipment. May treadmill na rin po kami. Ito naman po yung bago naming product na binibenta online. Eye Glow Serum, whitening po siya. Tingnan ninyo yung epekto sa aking anak na architect before and now. Yung mga inquiries po ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa kanyang Facebook account, Riz Maravillas. Ito naman po, Firmax Firming and Lifting Cream, pinapahid po sa mga pulses and affected area. Mahinam po sa paninigas ng mga kaso-kasuan. Ito naman po, Automax Radiant Serum. Sa mukha naman yung application, anti-aging po siya. You will look 10 years younger than your age. Sa mga cancer patients naman po, baka lang gusto ninyo itong itry. Nengsa Red Mix Fruit Drink. Hindi mo po siya gamot, food supplement siya. Kaya lang, gawa siya mga kababayan sa goji berry. Yung goji berry may anti-cancer properties. O ngayon, yung mga inquiries ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa aming messenger sa Facebook para masagot namin agad. Ayos pa? Ayos na ayos niya, Mr. Maravilla.
The sword to the executive, power of the pen to the judiciary, and the power of the purse is assigned to Congress. The power of the purse directly affects the lives of the people. We, the legislature, assumes the role of formulating spending and taxing policies. Saan huhugutin at paano gagastusin? Ang gastusin ng gobyerno at ang buwis na ipinapataw sa mamamayang Pilipino upang suportahan ang mga gastusing ito ang nagdidikta kung saan ito ilalaan na siyang nakakaapekto sa galaw at paglago ng ekonomiya. Ito rin ang paraan upang magkaroon ng income redistribution. May 4 na parte sa budget process. Number 1, preparation. Number 2, legislation. Number 3, execution. And number 4, accountability. Habang ang ehekutibo ang naghahanda ng budget, tayo sa Kongreso ang nagbabalangkas ng batas ng budget. Implementation is with the executive at accountability ay nakalagak sa parehong Commission on Audit at Kongreso bilang parte ng ating oversight function. Para sa kaalaman ng lahat, the power of the purse and the role of Congress does not end with the passage of the General Appropriation Act. Kailangan malaman ng Kongreso paano ipatutupad ang appropriation law para siguraduhin na maayos itong ginastos at nakamit ang mga targets or desired outcomes ng bawat ahensyang nalagak ng pondo ng bayan. We have to ensure that funds are spent solely for purpose for which they have been appropriated. Kabilang dito ang pagsisiguro na ang paggasta ay may tamang otorasyon ayon sa legal intent at purpose. Dapat panagutin ang mga ahensya sa pondong kanilang ginagastos. Kabilang na dito ang pagsisiyasat kung saan inaalam sa taong bayan mismo kung ang mga programang nilagak ng pondo ay naipatupad nga at nakarating sa kanila ang mga serbisyong pinondohan. Dahil sa pagsisiyasat kung nagagawa nga ng mga ahensya ang kanilang trabaho, ang Kongreso ay maayos na nakabalangkas ng appropriation law. Anong programa at ahensya ang dapat dagdagan ng pondo? Alin ang dapat bawasan at aling programa ang dapat nang ihinto? While existing laws provide the executive some flexibility in budget implementation, mahalaga para sa Kongreso na siguruhin ang executive decisions over the budget ay ayon sa intent and priorities set in the General Appropriation Act. Karapatan ng Kongreso humingi ng paliwanag mula sa mga ahensya ng ehekutibo ukol sa kanilang pinansyal na desisyon kabilang na sa pag-withhold, delay ng release ng pondo. Realign, transfer of fund mula sa isang ahensya papunta sa isa pang ahensya o kapag nagkaroon ng karagdagang utang. Effective budget oversight requires access to financial data that can be used to verify or validate agency reports. Sa madaling salita, importante sa Kongreso na sagutin ang mga katanungang may kinalaman sa paggamit ng pondo. Importante din na ang isang independent constitutional body kagaya ng Commission on Audit na may presensya sa lahat ng government offices upang matulungan ang oversight initiative ng legislatura. Ito ang power of the purse ng Kongreso. There may be arguments of extending parliamentary courtesy to several high offices of the executive. But I ask this, is parliamentary courtesy more important than safeguarding the budget to ensure proper utilization and allocation than asserting the power of the purse? Is parliamentary courtesy going to answer for social programs needing allocation? Paano naman ang parliamentary courtesy na sagutin ng Kongreso paukol sa paghingi ng pondo ng isang ahensya at paggamit nito upang epektibong magawa ng Kongreso ang kanyang tungkulin sa proseso ng budget? With this, I now recognize the Honorable Rolando M. Valeriano of 2nd District of Manila for his remarks.
Siya yung nag-privilege speech, mga kababayan. Binanatan si Inday Sara. Itong si Valeriano.
My fellow House members, the general public watching the live streaming of this public hearing, mga kababayan, magandang araw po. Nagpapasalamat po ako sa liderato ng Kamara sa kanilang referral ng aking September 3 privilege speech dito sa Kapitapitagang Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability. Since that day, the Committee on Appropriations decided to reduce the OBP's proposed 2025 budget partly due to unverified claims about beneficiaries and strategic partnerships. Ang pagtanggi ni Vice President Sara Duterte na sagutin ang mga tanong tungkol sa kanyang panukalang budget at ang questionable niyang paggastos sa mga nagdaang OBP budget na sinita ng Commission ng Audit ang mga dahilan kung bakit tayo narito ngayon. She expressly rejected any questions about the OBP budget even before those questions were put forward. Her claim of leaving it to the House to do what it thinks is right is just a palusot, a smoke screen, a cover because she does not want to provide proof for the numbers she stated in her PowerPoint presentation. The OBP socioeconomic programs are supposedly for implementation in the National Capital Region only. The OBP budget do not indicate any allocation or distribution for the provinces. Mahigit 3 weeks na po mula nung unang OBP budget hearing. Pero hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin nagsusumiti si VP Sara o sino man sa Office of the Vice President ng solidong dokumento o detalye na magpapatunay sa mga
Parang
sinasabi
sasabog
nila
na po si Inday,
sa
oh.
kanilang presentasyon.
Parang
She
gigil na gigil
expected
na.
us to take at face value the pig presentation when there is much
Harap-harapan na
reason for us here in
binabanatan ni
Congress
Valeriano.
to doubt the veracity of the figures in the presentation. We have not seen any paper trail or electronic trail that would serve as evidence of beneficiaries and partnership agreements. Kung totoong may mga beneficiaries, imposibleng hindi mabalitaan na masino mang district congressman sa Metro Manila, lalo pa tinatayang 2 milyong beneficiaries ang nakinatabang sa loob ng 2.5 taon at ang halaga ng pondo ay halos 4 billion pesos para sa 2022, 2023 at 2024. Our field offices for constituency relations will know when such massive amounts are being disbursed and when throngs of peoples line up as beneficiaries because these activities need the participation of local government units and their offices. Umaasa akong maliwanagan at mabigyan ng tamang impormasyon ng mga resource person mula sa Commission on Audit, mga LGU sa National Capital Region at ng mismong Office of the Vice President hinggil sa mga kaduda-dudang paggastos ng pondo ng bayan. If they have evidence of how the OBP spent the budgets on socio-economic programs from July 22 to the present, I hope they will be entered into evidence after the resource person are sworn to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. If there are any whistleblowers with information, evidence, and testimony about the supposed OBP socio-economic programs, they are most welcome to contact the chairperson of this committee, the committee members, or this representation. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
We proceed to the initial discussion of privilege speech number 379. We will first proceed to the preliminary determination. Do I hear any motion to move for the preliminary determination?
Mr. Chair, I move that
Congressman
the
Flores.
committee take cognizance of the issues raised by Congressman Valeriano in his privilege speech, Mr. Chair. I so move.
Is there any second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Is there any objection?
Mr. Chair,
Congressman
parliamentary inquiry.
Congressman Panaligan.
Before we proceed with the voting, may I inquire as to the propriety or timeliness of this committee taking cognizance of the issues raised in the previous speech of the Honorable Valeriano. I understand that the subject of this inquiry, are the issues raised by Honorable Valeriano in his previous speech. I also understand that this concerns transactions, certain transactions of the OVP and DepEd. However, those transactions are subject of current COA investigations. And we also know that said COA findings are still pending, subject to appeal or reconsideration. So in view of that, I just want to be clarified as to the propriety of this committee taking cognizance of the of said transactions.
Mr. Chair.
Before I recognize the Honorable Flores, the Chair would like to recognize the presence of Congresswoman Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
Mga kakampi ni Inday.
Honorable Aurelio Dong Gonzales, our Senior Deputy Speaker. Congressman Roberto Uy of the 1st District of Zamboanga del Norte. Honorable Janet Garin, Vice Chairperson and Congresswoman of 1st District of Iloilo. Honorable Flores, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, first and foremost, the authority of the House to conduct inquiries in aid of legislation has been already established, Mr. Chair. Not only is it provided for by the Constitution, Mr. Chair, it has also been well settled in jurisprudence and in Supreme Court decisions that the House may conduct inquiries in aid of legislation. We are not here to replace the findings of the COA, Mr. Chair, so it should not in any way interfere with investigation also being conducted by the COA. We're just here to find out if we could, through legislation, either improve it or protect it or whatever, Mr. Chair. So I think the presence or the fact that there is already a COA investigation should not deter the House from conducting its own inquiries, Mr. Chair, in accordance with, of course, Article 6, Section 21 of our Constitution, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Flores.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable the Vice Chair, Congressman Benny Abante is recognized.
All right. In response to the query of our good colleague there, also related to the statement of Congressman Flores, may I read Rule 1, Section 1 of the Rules of Procedure governing proceedings before the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability as far as jurisdiction is concerned. It says here, and I quote, "The Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability shall have jurisdiction over all matters directly and principally relating to malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance in office committed by officers and employees of the government and its political subdivisions and instrumentalities, inclusive of investigations of any matter of public interest on its own initiative or upon order of the House." Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I would like to make a manifestation, Mr. Chair, that during the budget deliberations, there are issues raised concerning the fund utilization of DepEd. In the manifestation of Representative Jervil, Jinky Beatrix R. Luistro of the 2nd District of Batangas, during the budget hearing of the Department of Education o DepEd sa Committee on Appropriations dito sa Kamara, kung saan hinikayat niya na magkaroon ng investigasyon paukol sa kapalpakan ng ahensyang mag-deliver ng mga computer units in good condition sa mga end users, mga guro at estudyante at iba pang isyong may kinalaman sa paggamit ng pondo ng bayan ng naturang ahensya, upang makita natin kung mayroon bang misfeasance, malfeasance, o nonfeasance. Sa madaling salita, Mr. Chair, I wish to manifest that this committee, the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, determine whether there is misfeasance, malfeasance, or nonfeasance, at kung may mga paglabag ang mga kawani ng naturang ahensya sa kanilang mga tungkulin bilang mga kawani, Mr. Chair.
That is heading Congressman Lara.
Salamat, Mr. Chair.
And to continue, as manifested by Congressman Lara, the committee, by a majority vote of all members, decided to conduct a motu proprio investigation on the September 10, 2024 manifestation of Congresswoman Luistro during the budget hearing of DepEd, particularly on the agency's failure to deliver computers in good condition to end users and other issues concerning its budget utilization. Since this is a motu proprio inquiry, and we are still waiting for the authority to proceed from the Committee on Rules, the hearing is suspended until we have receipt of the said authority to proceed. Is there any objection? The hearing is now suspended. Yes,
Take out mo na yung mga invited guests.
A letter to the
Sinday.
Office of the Vice President.
Salita na.
Attached a copy of the rules in aid of legislation.
Yes po.
Yes, sir. Nakalagay po doon na witnesses lang po ang ino-oath. Sabi niyo po ngayon sa amin, resource persons kami.
Ang ano po, considered as resource person po.
Ang ano po?
Kayo po.
Kaya nga po.
Yes po. Lahat po ino-oath po.
Yes.
Apo.
Nakalagay po sa rules ninyo, witnesses. Nakalagay po dito ngayon sa table, resource persons.
Lahat po considered as resource person and witness. Lahat po naman kayo, lahat resource person pa eh. Wala pa naman po tayong tinatawag na, lahat po considered as resource person pa naman po.
Right. Opo. Ang nasa rules ninyo, witnesses lang po ang nag-o-oath. Wala po kayong rules
Parang
sa
ayaw
resource
mag-take oath
persons.
ni Inday. Para in case magsinungaling, hindi siya makontempt. Nagmaldita na naman po. Oh.
Ma'am, ano lang po yun eh. Yung term lang po yun eh. Pero considered
Nagmaldita
as
agad?
resource person eh.
Yes, sir.
Opo.
Resource persons nga po
Kayo,
nakalagay
witness
dito.
din po at saka resource person po.
Hindi niyo po sinabi na witness ako. Sinabi niyo po dito ngayon, resource persons. Ang nakalagay po sa rules ninyo, witness.
Comsec, ano po yung pinadala po ninyo?
Yun pong rules in aid of legislation.
What is the point of order of
Si
the
GMA.
Honorable Congressman
This issue about
Macapagal?
witness, resource person, etc., etc.
Ma'am, pakilakas lang po, hindi po marinig.
Persons and accused has been taken up in previous legislative inquiries in aid of legislation. I want to quote a December 8, 2008 hearing in the Senate, where Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago had an opinion on a similar situation, but she quoted a Supreme Court ruling. So, the Constitution provides that no person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. The Supreme Court has repeatedly emphasized that there is a difference between a mere witness and the accused. And it can appear from statements and privileged speeches that there is that a person who is the subject matter of an adverse privileged speech is not a mere witness or a mere person of interest, meaning a suspect. She is in fact accused of what seems to be a criminal case for violation of certain criminal laws,